Hey, how's it going? Lazy Dude here again. I am doing another live stream. That's right. Uh, Last night I was streaming the first X-Men movie because I'm doing a video where I'm going to rank each and every one of the X-Men movies. And today I'm doing a similar thing. It's just going to be with the next one. I'm going to stream all these. I don't know if anyone's even going to be able to tune in, but I found that for me, it really helped me get my thoughts in order for the X-Men, for watching these X-Men movies, and doing and ranking them. So I'm just gonna do that. So if anyone wants to, I see we have one person watching, at least for now. So if anybody wants to join along with me in watching this franchise, I'll give you up to the second minute mark in order to catch up with me. Yeah. So, X2. I don't remember if I actually saw this in theaters. I don't even know if I saw No, I didn't see the first one in theaters. I know that. I'm trying to think if I saw this. No, I think I might have. Like, I remember the beginning being spoiled for me. Everyone being like, "Oh yeah, I love the start with Nightcrawler and everything," and I'd be like, "What happened with Nightcrawler?" It's like, "Oh, he just kicks a button." I have a cousin who I believe he's terrible for just spoiling a movie. He would just tell me like the entire plot. I think he did, at least for the beginning of this. I didn't know anything much beyond that, but I knew Nightcrawler was in it because of the trailer. And this is one of the things that I was still at the age where it's just like my favorite characters were based on cool looking a person was, and Nightcrawler was like one of the coolest for me. Hey, from Atlanta, Georgia. Somebody just commented. Nice to see you. Join the stream. Okay, so I'm gonna start the stream now. I'm gonna start it. I'll start it at 2:10. So that way everyone can get it when it's 2 minutes and 10 seconds. In. So 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you're following along, I'm hit play. Dun, dun. Nice to see you who have joined. I'm glad you could join me. I don't know if you're going to stick around, but if you do, then thanks for sticking around. If you don't, I don't blame you. This is a long... Yeah, happy 4th of July. Yes, happy 4th of July to all the Americans out there. And, I mean, I'm Canadian. We had our celebration on the 1st of July. You know, I think... Yeah, I don't think the Marvel logo thing was in the first one. I might be remembering that long, but that must have. I think that happened after Spider-Man, where they got the whole picture.
Since the discovery of their existence, they have been regarded with fear, suspicion, often hatred.
Yeah, he's taking his time more here. I said this in the first one, where I'm just like, I feel like he rushed it in the first one.
Or simply a new species of humanity fighting for their share of the world. Either way, it is an historical fact. Sharing the world has never been humanity's defining attribute.
Nope, we are terrible at sharing. They're still doing CGI, these weird CGI graphics thing, but this was just what Marvel's did. Remember the first Spider-Man movie had those weird CGI effects? They didn't get the good opening until the second one, where they had the hand drawn. Our Art Ross like drawings. X2. It's like the shortest title, just 2 words. Zach says not a fan of Dark Phoenix. Well, and Lucas, no, we just started. We're just getting into the White House. Pause it for a quick set at 1:53 if you're following along. I haven't seen a Dark Phoenix yet, Zach. I am wanting to. That's kind of why I wanted to do this movie. Is like I kind of want to see it just so I can say I've seen them all, but I don't want to just see it because otherwise, what's the point? And doing a review, I mean, this is already super late. Opinion on Logan? I mean, I have my review of Logan, but I like Logan a lot. But yeah, I'm actually scared of how bad Dark Phoenix could be if it's as bad, if not worse, than the other X-Men movies we got. Nightcrawler. This scene, man. This is how you start off a summer blockbuster movie. I mean, it feels a little unsettling now to have somebody invading the White House, and I'm just like hitting a little close to home now. But yes, I'm celebrating my 4th of July with a mutant who is doing an attack on the White House. I remember thinking this was Toad at first, the first time, just because of the look of the glasses. Actually, I thought Toad was in here a couple of times. Here we go. Yeah. I don't know why Nightcrawler is just running around like this. I guess he's just looking for him. But it's just like, why go to there, to there, to there? But, the poofing effect is so good. I'm so sad that even when we did get Nightcrawler, we never got an action scene this good again. Just poof! In your face! Negative! Not clear! And then you can see it, boom, boom, with the tail. Funny enough, this is the first of 2 movies that have a fight scene in front of the White House, I think. I'm pretty sure Days of Future Past also has a fight about the White House. Ooh. Oh, that scene with him in the corner is so good. And you just hear so much youngling smell. And I love how when he opens this door. Yeah, Toad did die, but at that point, I was just like, yeah, but it's comic books. People can always just come back. I love how the room's just filled with smoke. That's so cool. Nightcrawler was one of my favorite characters to play in X-Men Legends, just because I would glitch him through the walls so I could get to other rooms faster. Oh, I mean, look at this garage piece. This scene holds up great. And the tail effects are a little dated. I wish they had maybe at least an actual prosthetic tail they could use in some shots. I don't know why he squeals like a dog, but okay. Yeah, if you were able to teleport teleportation is a pretty cool power. I will say it'd be probably. I'm not sure if it was in my top 10 list. Oh no, I think it was, but it was teleporting like Jumper, because Nightcrawler is limited. Canadian wilderness. I bet this was probably filmed in America. I don't know why, but they always do that in America. They just Here's the thing that pisses me off about this movie. Wolverine's Canadian, right? But they can't even think of the possibility that the Canadian government has to be behind this. No, it has to be the evils of American government. Hey, we can be evil douchebags too. Okay? You don't have... America's not the... I mean, we made Justin Bieber, okay? We have the most evil of all. Hey, look, Wolverine's... Hugh Jackman's wolf training is finally paying off as he's looking at the wolf. I mean, the mystery of Wolverine figuring out what happened to him, I was always really interested in, and I really let me just say, yes, Canada is a little bit pure and innocent, but that's okay because we can also be tough too. Anyway, let me just say, I'm not the biggest Wolverine fan. I like Logan as a character, but then my sister got me Wolverine Origins, and that was the very first one where you meet him as a kid and he grows up into a teenager. That one was so good. Okay, this kid sucks about hiding his power. You have one job, don't stick out your tongue. One job. Not here. You can stick out your tongue at other people when we get home. Hey, she has a new hairstyle. That's about as exciting as it gets for Jean Grey. I mean, it would be kind of. I love it. What are you looking at? This is like she's just looking around, and then you hear that. You can hear in that quick scene actually scenes from the future. Like, I'm not sure how many knows that. It's probably not like mind blowing, but the no was from Logan later in the thing, and then you hear the hi from the kid right before he gets shot in the neck with the darts.
Just a headache. It's not just a headache, is it? Listen, I wasn't really sure how to say this, but ever since Liberty Island, you've been different. I'm in love with you when I was late.
Why, since Liberty Island, what did she do in Liberty Island that was so taxing? In fact, Jean Grey barely did anything. She floated Toad, and then she floated Logan and Cyclops' visor. Now, I get Cerebro. She did that, and that probably put a strain on her, but that's the most thing. He said ever since Liberty Island, specifically. Would never let anything happen to you unless I was mind controlled and get them to last you. Hey, didn't take her a half an hour before she got her first line in the movie. Hey, why are you being such a dick?
Because I can. Can I have a light?
Always like this actor for Pyro.
Yeah, pal.
The other guy looked like just a teenage douchebag. I'm sure he's a nice guy, but
Oh, for her? I can't believe your girlfriend's getting excited. I don't think she's getting excited.
yeah, dude. I do like Pyro is very consistent. You know, he's cocky, he's full of himself, and is a little hot-headed, and is just like, you know, this is why they say, kids, smoking's bad for you. Smoking kills. I mean, the fire wasn't that bad. Bobby, you could have just like put them out yourself. This is a good shot. This is a great shot. I mean, this is flash mobs before flash mobs were a thing. Or no, not flash mobs. What was that thing? Like the mannequin contest, where everyone was just like, yeah. Even the cave people are still. Oh, okay. I'm going to pause for a second because Lucas Green wants to link up. We are at 10:50. I'll see you later, Trevor. It's good for you to join us, but I get you life. Like, not everyone has time to just sit around and watch a movie with some streamer on YouTube. Honestly, I only I'm doing this just because I thought it'd be fun and good to have my own thoughts on record, really. And the fact that you guys are joining me is great. Okay, we are at 10:50 is the time. 10:50 is the time we are at. Just send me a quick message when. Okay, you got it. And in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
No, I did.
Here's the thing: the security guards later must have been freaking out.
Next time you feel like showing off, don't.
All right, kids, you know the drill. Grab their wallets. Come on, come on. You know, how do you think I pay for this stuff at the school? Let's go, let's go. I thought at this moment he stopped time. I didn't get how the TV was going on when I was a kid, but now it makes sense. You know, these not stopping times, he's just pausing everybody's mind.
My opinion, Magneto's behind this.
Scott, come on, you're the tactics guy.
Like this from prison for him, it would be irrational. It would only hurt his goal of mutant prosperity.
You mean superiority.
You're right. The very cat is way.
You know how the government will respond. They'll reintroduce the registration act.
Alrighty. So, I mean, at least they're starting to try to give people more of an arc. I mean, Jean and Aurora get to go off and meet Nightcrawler all on their own. It's not.
Well, we'll automatically find it before the authorities do. I've been trying to track him using Cerebro, but his movements are inexplicably erratic.
Oh yeah, Wolverine is like Hugh Jackman's always good, even when the movies suck.
It was close, wasn't it?
Hugh Jackman is always good as Wolverine.
What do you need, Lee? Just your honor.
Here's the thing, Stryker. No, other people have gotten closer because other people have actually killed presidents before. I mean, maybe in the Oval Office, not, but.
Well, you should say that, Mr. President. Senator, Mr. President.
Hey, look, the X-Men never reported on Senator Kelly's disappearance or death. Great on them.
His department has been giving.
Reminds me of the last season of Young Justice, where they're just like, wait a minute, we're holding a lot of secrets to our chest. Why don't we just come forward with everything we know?
For the best, I hope. So, what are you proposing, Mr. Stryker?
Stryker. This scene is always weird. She's just sitting there cracking her knuckles over and over again. And I don't get why. I mean, obviously she's mind controlled, but what is she doing that for? Just to be intimidating?
Where did you get this information? Interrogation of one of the mutant terrorists from the Liberty Island incident.
Eric Lencher, you have access to him?
Magneto.
This guy does a great performance as Mystique because, you know, he says Eric as in an old friend, and then he corrects himself. Eric Lencher, you have him?
This facility is a school.
Sure it is. The hell is that? A jet. What kind of jet?
Here's another.
We don't know.
Yeah, I think Xavier McNeil and Logan helped make the X-Men movies more cool. If they weren't casted to those specific actors, I don't think would have the same amount of success. I think so too. Like the first movie, I enjoy it a lot, but I think it's the cast that makes it last. If they were just subpar actors, they would not have gotten to the amount of movies they got.
The last thing we need to see is the body of a mutant kid on the 6 o'clock news.
I think the X-Men, if it all depends on how they fit it in there, because X-Men normally have history,
Senator Kelly,
right?
this is Yuri Gold, my personal assistant.
A handshake.
What do I do for you?
Eric Lencher's prison. I'd like to arrange a visit if possible.
It isn't a petting zoo. In this conflict, here's the.
I think that in the MCU they could make it. I just think it just depends.
Mr. Stryker, do you really want to turn this into some kind of war?
I think it just depends on how they introduce it, because if they introduce them like too, just like oh, here they are, go ahead, and they're here. I don't know, but with this whole Doctor Strange stuff and the Multiverse of Madness, I think there really could be some ways to go with it. And you think nobody messed up ever noticed her eyes flashing? I mean, you think she'd have Senator Kelly wearing aviators? Sorry, I just had a bad thought. I was like, maybe the reason Bobby's gay is because his first girlfriend was Rogue. And she's like, okay, but no, that's a bad joke. It's a terrible joke. I'm sorry. Lucas, Stryker and Magneto are both villains in this movie, and when it comes down to it, that's the truth. Stryker is the villain driving the plot forward, but Magneto is never ever altruistic in his motivations.
Who's this?
Oh, this is Bobby. He's my.
Call me Iceman.
You can be my wingman any day.
Right. Boyfriend?
Yes, I still like Monster House, but just so you know how much time is. I guess you're right, Lucas. Not a lot of time has passed between here. It's probably a month at the most.
Nice to see you.
Because he had to drive all the way up to Canada again
Hi, Gene.
and find Alkali Lake, then come back. So
Yeah, well,
probably maybe a week or two.
I'll see you later.
Okay.
Hey, look, it's the woman his heart belongs to after 2 conversations.
Storm and I are heading to Boston. We won't be gone long. The professor wants us to track down a mutant to attack the president.
But yeah, I guess thinking about it, she's probably not been Kelly for anything more than a month.
She planned on going out again.
I mean, we don't know how quickly he went to there. I can think of a few reasons. See, this is when Scott's finally hitting back. Just like, get out of my face, Logan. Like, look at that. He's caring. He's supportive.
Aren't you going to welcome me home? Your bike needs gas.
Fill her up. You think they could have done Wolverine and Captain America bound? Did they serve? In the comics, they did serve together. Well, like they did missions together in World War II, and in some of the Once and Future King. I didn't notice it. I never noticed that that's what he was reading.
How long can we keep this up?
How long is your sentence?
Forever.
Not necessarily forever, Mr. Lynch.
But it would have been an interesting thing to go back and see Logan and
You come back to make sure.
man, they gotta hire somebody who's young but looks older than he is for Logan. You know, it's funny because this scene just reminds, if anything, just proves Magneto more right in a lot of ways because he's like, here I am back in prison, back with like a name, not a number, not a name, and now I'm being used as a tool once again for an evil man's whims. Pinocchio 3000. I don't even know what that is. Okay, just so everybody knows, I'll be if I'm responding to your questions, it's going to be X-Men related. You know, this isn't a Q&A. I'll probably do one of those sometime when I get 3,000 subscribers, but we're talking about the X-Men movies here.
Logan, my tolerance for your smoking in the mansion notwithstanding, continue smoking that in here, and you'll spend the rest of your days under the belief that you're a 6-year-old girl.
This is one of my favorite threats, and like it's terrifying. I'll have Jean braid your hair. And he's like, okay. I mean, I'm sure it's like, well, I'm going to heal and I don't want to damage my leather jacket, so okay. I mean, when you think about it, Logan's the only person that these smoking PSAs don't necessarily apply to because his lungs will always heal no matter how much he smokes.
These lights represent.
I love this because we get like a visual representation of how far Cerebro's reach is.
These are the mutants. Through Cerebro, I'm connected to them. And they to me.
Like, it's as worldwide, its reach.
We're not as alone as you think.
And there's so many mutants that they show.
There's nothing there.
The broken line represents the path of the meteor.
Yeah, like don't answer my question, Charles.
Finding it difficult to get a lock on it.
Can't you just concentrate on it?
If I wanted to kill him, yes.
It's like that's a line that's just like if I wanted to kill him, I could concentrate harder. That's like, holy shoot, Xavier, maybe you shouldn't have Cerebro. A thing that allows you to spy on anybody and anywhere in the world and then possibly kill them from me. Can you imagine if he just wanted to start taking people out left, right, and center? There'd be no way to trace it to him.
I need you to read my mind again.
Why does Logan look so old? I don't know. I think he looks fine in here. He doesn't look that old.
I'm afraid the results will be the same as before.
Oh, yes, he could have a space, the final frontier. That's pretty good.
Beehive with a million experimental options. I have no doubt that your amnesia, your adamantium skeleton, the claws are all somehow connected.
You're wrong. The adamantium skeleton never gave him his amnesia. It was a bullet. A random bullet.
Oh, if you will be
That pissed me off the most. Like, wait, he hasn't lost his memories after this thing? What the flipping heck is going on? I don't think there's any way you can do the Phoenix Saga in movie form. Because I think you could do it in a TV form. Because the TV X-Men adventure is actually really good. Like, because what most people don't know, what I didn't know until I watched the old X-Men cartoon, is the fact that the Phoenix Force is actually a force for good. It was prophesied to save this planet and to die saving it or something like that. And it did. And it did its job. It took Jean as a host and then saved the planet, but then it didn't die and it didn't know what else to do after that. After its prophecy had come true and it saved the world, what to do next. And so then it started experimenting on things. And since Jean couldn't control it, it just got out of control. And so a lot of people want to make the Phoenix Force an evil force that's corrupting her. But no, what it is, it's a force that doesn't know what good and bad is and is just bored and wants to try new things. Here you go again with these effects. The transformation effects with Mystique are always great. Like, if there's any character that is like the breakout character of this show, it is Mystique. So she's so popular so much in this movie franchise that it basically ruins it because they try to make her the main character in the next one, and it just makes no sense. But I love, like, Mystique, and Mystique's scenes have very little talking, but you always know what she's doing. You see this, she's like, okay, she's trying to find a way to break Magneto out. She's being very diabolic. I love how she has to print the pages too. She doesn't have a USB at this point that she can just download the files. Hey, welcome back, Indigo. Yeah, I hated how they handled Mystique in the last 10. So this is basically Mystique's last movie to really shine. Because I'll get into it when I get to First Class and everything, but I'm not a big fan of Jennifer Lawrence's portrayal as Mystique. But mostly because of the way it's written. Like, I think Jennifer Lawrence is a great actress, but I don't think that she's, like, the right actress for Mystique. Like, the reason Mystique is so awesome in these movies is because of the physical performance, because the actress is able to pull it off. As I said, I think she was a stunt performer or something beforehand. And this would have been an interesting fight, Mystique versus Lady Deathstrike.
What are you doing in here?
Estoy tirando la basura. Garbage.
Oh, so your garbage allows you to go through the hand-printed door into the secure files? Don't think so, buddy. Don't think so. No, Jose. Although this would be trippy. Just be like, wait a minute. Do all Mexicans do look alike? No, that's very bad and racist. It's just like, holy shoot. Maybe I do have Mexican on the brain. Favorite member of the X-Men? Well, for comics, it's Cyclops. But Cyclops only really gets any moments to shine in the first movie. After that, he gets sidelined in this one pretty quick. He gets killed in the next one really quick. And then even when they finally bring him on, like, he's the new guy on the block that doesn't actually know what to do. So Cyclops is never able to shine as the leader of the X-Men. In terms of the franchise, it's got to be Logan, just because he's the only one consistently badass in the whole movie. So maybe Iceman though, but he doesn't get enough action scenes.
We just want to talk.
Get out!
You bored yet?
Oh yeah, I'm not bored. I like X2. You know, I remember everyone saying how much of a better film X2 is from the first one, and I've never actually like watched them back to back like this, but there's a lot more development in the characters. They have more scenes and do more stuff from the get-go.
You have him? He's not going anywhere. Are you?
So yeah, like the first X-Men movie is basically, in terms of comics, my favorite is Nightcrawler. Yeah, Nightcrawler is really good too. He's always one of my favorites. I love the comic. Is like when Nightcrawler died, and he has a goal. He gives Logan a task to like bring a piano up a mountain, and Logan gets to the top, and he's like, "Well, nobody here can play the piano," and he's like, "What did I do this for?" And it's just like a way to teach him like to have faith in something, which is good because then he goes to hell very quickly after that. I didn't read that part though.
Nothing. I was here.
At least they got a German guy to do Nightcrawler. I'm glad when they do that sort of thing. And they were definitely setting up something between Nightcrawler and Storm. Why did Nightcrawler not come back for the next one? That's what I never got. Because he was a breakout hit character. He was so much fun. And they were like, well, we got to get rid of him in order to move for Beast. We can't have two blue guys. In fact, we're getting rid of Mystique too.
I need you to read my mind again. I'm afraid the results will be the same as before. Will be indestructible. Sometimes it's to discover things for yourself. Wolverine.
Yeah, I mean, at least Rogue wasn't sitting in front of him this time. This kid, what is his power specifically? Because they do this a few times where they have kids like have the one specific power that's kind of stupid and pointless. Like the kid who sticks out his tongue, and he has a lizard tongue. I'm like, well, that's a terrible power. But this kid, I was like, can he just control technology with his mind? Is this like the first version of Hijacked in other comic books where he can like control technology with his mind as a technopath, I guess? He's like, I never sleep. I don't know. Kid's just. That kid intrigues me. It was like what you could do with that power, and what they do with it in the comic books when we got hijacked.
This is a school, so that's a no.
Yeah, that's a no.
Got anything other than chocolate milk?
There should be some soda in that small cupboard.
So it's called Pop. You should have corrected him, Logan. You're Canadian. I love this moment. It's just a small, like the best moments in these films are when they don't have to say anything. He just hands him the soda, the pop,
No problem.
and then he blows on it, and it's cold. Probably got COVID, but he can heal. Hey-oh. Yeah, it was dumb to get rid of Nightcrawler. I remember then when X3 came out, they're like, we'll explain why Nightcrawler is not in the next movie in the X3 video game because it takes place between X-Men 2 and X-Men 3. And you play as Nightcrawler. He's great, and he goes through this character arc where he like is haunted by the ghost of Nathan from this movie. Is it Nathan? Anyway, he's haunted by that, and then the game just ends. He's like, "Oh, by the way, I'm going to leave now," even though that's not set up at all in this whole movies. They should have brought that actor back for Dawn of Future Past. I guess they had the other teleporting woman character, Blink.
Wonder what I did in purpose.
But
You really shouldn't have to ask, Charles.
I love that line. Like you really shouldn't have to ask her. It's like you're a mind reader. Use your gift. Live up to your mutant heritage, to your fullness. Jason, that was it.
Yes, years
Hey, Sun God. Nice. Thanks. I will try to keep it up as much as
I
possible.
think taking in the Wolverine will make up for your failure with Stryker's son.
You know, Eric, you could just say, "Holy crap, Charles! There's a lot of trouble."
Sent you off to the mutant school.
I don't think Logan would give a darn about
Actually,
whether if he's a
my parents
pop.
think this is
So.
prep school. Oh, I see. I suppose lots of prep schools have.
Yeah, the X3 game was at least a little fun, although that last mission pissed me off. The last
So you
X-Men
enrolled.
3.
Yeah. I mean, it's not Big Bang. I'd like it to be, but
Yeah.
it's not easy when you want to be closer to someone.
Uh,
But you can't. You know, I've seen how you look at Dr. Gray.
I've seen how you look at Dr. Gray.
Excuse me.
You mean the woman who I gave my heart to?
You haven't told me about his past.
See, there's stuff like that imply that he knows about Logan, that there's never resolved.
Your precious X.
Or maybe he knows because he read his mind and then he just wants him to resolve it himself. I don't know.
I'm sorry, Charles. I couldn't have it.
Best thing about Last Stand, Iceman. What killed the dinosaurs? No. No. No, that is not. Stop quoting Batman and Robin here.
War has begun.
Yeah, Rebecca Romaine. Yeah, that's who does Mystique, and she's great. I mean, that's a line that just Magneto and Xavier, they're great. Yay, Cyclops' is only move. He gets to beat some security guards up. I do love this woman's choreography. She's just like, and he's like, what the flippin' heck? And then just is out. And cracking the knuckles, because that's something.
Now and then, every mother needs to get away. Without her, the babies are helpless.
This nature documentary about the mother being away and being helpless is a little on the nose. This guy I thought was Toad, just because he has like the war paint thing on his face. It didn't like it was very quickly after that I realized that he wasn't, but it was just like, wait a minute, is that Toad? He's very pale and green, and then it's just like, oh no, it's just war paint. Why 3? Why 3 darts? Shouldn't it just be like 1? Like, how did they get in though? Did they just open the front door? Did like Xavier pay for like a high security basement but did not get really good locks on the... Hey, look, it's Kitty Pryde number 2. Hi, Kitty Pryde number 2. I like you in this scene, but you'll never be around for X-Men 3. You'll be replaced with Ellen Page. Actually, yeah, I guess that is true that Toad is played by the same actor who does Nardwuar. Hey, we got another bub. Now, is this girl someone? Dude, we said we didn't want a dead mutant kid on the news. Like, is this girl, like, is there a character in the comics that screams, or is it just for this scene? That, like, you know, there's so many X-Men, it's impossible to know. Yeah, look at those claws. Dead. Completely dead. But you know what I love about this scene? They have the claw marks in the flippin' fridge.
You're right.
That's what I love about this scene. I don't know who Siren is, but yeah, they keep switching Kitty Pryde because they keep on just wanting to make her a background character. It's like, oh, look, it's this character that you know from the comics. But if you didn't know comics, you wouldn't know her. But then they're like, oh, let's actually make her a character. But I feel like it'd be better if they just developed good teen actors from the start instead of switching it every 5 seconds. Hey, and here we go, Colossus. At least this guy they keep around and they make him do stuff in the next movie. And those guys are sashimi. You know what the biggest thing about Logan, I think, is a disappointment? That it was R, but we never got to see too much of the gore of it. Like, I wanted to see Logan slice his claws through a guy's head and it just go pop, pop, pop into pieces. You know, I want to go full gore a little bit with Logan. But I do like that this is like a military operation. You put the ground team in first, stealthily take out as many as you can, and then when things get heated, you send in the backup with the helicopters.
Hey, where's Rogue? I don't know. I gotta find her.
All right, guys, it's the backup emergency exit. If people with guns are to ever come here, you'll need somebody really strong to open it because it jams all the time.
Take it. He's stunned. I can help you.
Siren, Banshee, I don't know. Anyways. Oh, that would hurt so much right through the foot. Like, look, they're not necessarily the best action scenes, but the first one didn't have necessarily the best action scenes, but this one brings it on. They're like, where was Rogue? Why was Rogue separate from the rest of the group? That's what I don't get. Everyone was together in their rooms, and then she ran. There should have been a scene where she got separated from them and was running away from some guys, and then touched them and then ran away. Yeah. This guy who plays Stryker, by the way, he's great because he's just a human, and yet you feel just as intimidated by him as you are with like someone like Magneto, and that is just because of the actor portraying him. Because you don't have that same. It's the Amanda Waller principle. You know, if you have a guy who's just as intimidating, who isn't powerful physically, then as long as they're a really good actor who can pull it off, they're almost in some ways almost more intimidating.
You want to
Shoot me, shoot me!
Not yet.
I love how he knows it's him before he could hear it. You just heard his voice.
Place I would expect to find you. How long has it been? 15 years? You haven't changed one bit.
Yeah, Rogue's accent is a little bit inconsistent.
On the other hand,
Nature. His claws, the effects are so good with the claws.
He can heal himself. Let's go.
Yeah, it's like he can't die.
Xavier was taken.
I saved you a lot. No, you didn't.
Who are you?
Don't you remember?
Don't you remember?
It's almost weird. He almost looks at him like he's his father that's come back after, finally getting those cigarettes that he's always been looking for. Had to find the specific brand, boy. That was a specific brand. They went out of business. Had to cross the whole country to find that one brand. Then I quit smoking after it.
Logan, come on, let's go.
Yeah, it's like this weird moment where he's like, he views Stryker not as a father figure, but it's just like the link to his past.
I'll be fine.
the answers to all of his questions.
Keep going.
Now, here's the thing that doesn't make sense again, First Class. The guy, Xavier put together his team in First Class and the Jet and Cerebro and all of that. So how are they just like, how did this happen? You don't think that message was passed along through the higher-ups as they went down? I don't know. Just another thing. Get it. Get it.
I'm trying.
Maybe next time.
He's a psychologist, Carter.
Yeah, a little callback with the middle finger. That's always great. I mean,
What was that back there?
Striker.
his name
His
is.
name is Striker.
Who is he?
I can't remember.
See, if you were doing any real mission operation, you would have blocked off all the roads so nobody can escape. And then again, maybe it's a back road that they don't know about. I think they do say something about like that.
This is yours.
I don't like uncomfortable silences.
I'm with you, John. Ooh. Now, here's the thing. I hate movies that rely on this sort of random chance. Like, if he did not press the radio, this wouldn't have happened.
Where are we going?
Storm Engineer in Boston. Head that way.
My parents live in Boston.
Good.
So wait, how big of a drive is it from Boston to... Yeah, we go from New York to Boston. How much of a drive is that? I want to almost look that up. If my phone is upstairs, so I can't, I'll have to look that up. Somebody, if you want to help, look that up.
Escaped through a series of tunnels that weren't in our schematics. We have
Yeah, no powers yet. A hero fled from Stryker. Yeah, that's the thing. That's why I really like Stryker as a villain. And he's older too. You know, you get too many. I've always said this: like an older, more experienced actor can portray that they've been through crap and that they are deadly because of it. It has forged them. Same with Magneto. You know, you feel like the actor has been through stuff, and this is the second time in 2 movies that their flippin' system has been hacked. You know what, Xavier? Maybe a simple 5-digit passcode would have been better than this eye thing, because obviously it hasn't turned out well. You know what? There is something to be said. Like Cerebro is almost another character in the film. You know, Cerebro, he's fun. It's almost another character because it's like a powerful tool. For the first 2 films, and then First Class, and then after that, it doesn't really become. Hey, look, Dr. Hank McCoy. That doesn't look like Kelsey Grammer at all.
Turn that shit off.
And you know what? He doesn't even have his beast fur. Another thing that First Class doesn't get right. Actually, I guess they do show that in that he.
I'm Grace.
Hey, look, it's Mystique's actress. Finally, without all of her blue stuff. She was like, I was so glad. I saw an interview. She was like, I was so glad to have one scene where I got to act as myself and not have to put on all those prosthetics.
Of course I did.
Man, you gotta have such a low IQ and think you are the hottest stuff to think that a girl that beautiful wants to take you to the bathroom.
No.
I know, yes. I love like even while she's like drugging this guy.
Velcro.
Velcro what? Pants or underwear? No, we see his underwear. He's got tighty whities, so I guess his pants. That's Yeah, those are some tiny whiteys. I love the blue dress that morphs into the blue skin. Like, that scene right there, the CGI looks a little off, but it's okay because the effect still looks cool. Okay, we're at, I guess, yeah, okay. I was just showing that we're at Alkali Lake. Fastest route from Winchester, New York to Boston is about 2 hours and 50 minutes. Thank you. Okay, so that's within good time. I just, U.S., I'm not necessarily familiar with the how far away things are each other. Anyways,
re-education. Of course, you know all about that, don't you?
when you have this type of character, they have to make up superpowers with tech and a genius. Yes.
You were more frightened of him than I was. You know, just 1 year after Jason returned from your school,
I love this scene.
my wife, you see, he resented us. He blamed us for his condition,
So he would totally know about it.
projecting visions and scenarios into our brains.
Yeah, this is like,
My wife, in the end, she took a power drill to her left temple in an attempt to bore the images out. My boy.
see, this is why you need good actors, because mutants and all this, it's a silly thing. But when you have actors like this that can take it so seriously, it makes it believable and relatable, and you feel like it's more real.
They said that. As long as they can be controlled.
I feel like I would have that on a time watch. It's like, okay, 24 hours and go.
Arrange the attack on the president.
And you didn't even have to read my mind.
You didn't even have to read my mind.
He's also pretty funny for an evil guy.
You know, I've been working with him as long as you have.
I don't see
The most frustrating thing
Magneto. I find more relatable than Stryker,
Oh, how to find them.
but Stryker, like, I understand Stryker's motivation as the villain. Like,
You're much too powerful for that.
I understand where his character is coming from. He's not just evil for the sake of evil. Terrible things had happened to him by mutants, and he was already a racist before that.
The fluid secreted by his brain.
And so he's used this to, like, shape his worldview, and he believes that he's helping. He's doing service to humanity. He views it as us versus them.
Son, what have you done?
No, Charles.
My son is dead. Just like the
Just
rest
like
of
the
us.
rest of you.
But like that, like I understand his motivations. You know, I don't like the villains that are like, if I can understand where a character is coming from and what they're going through and why they are doing their things that they're doing and why they think they're the hero of their own story, that is something. But this is just so twisted how he uses his son as like a weapon
Ronnie, is anybody home?
against Xavier. Man, that is such a good scene. That is it's twisted, it's dark, but you understand the villain and why he's doing what he's doing. It's great.
Hey, found some of my mom's old clothes. I think they're from before I was born.
Really?
Really?
I mean, a simple cell phone would have been better than this thing that has no buttons.
Hello.
Why would you have a communication device that you can't communicate with the other side? They can only communicate with you. That doesn't make any sense, Charles. Or does it use regular cell phone towers, or does it, work on its own? Bobby, look the other way. Look the other way. Bobby, be a gentleman. You should have left the room, but look the other way. Anyway, if she did not give you permission, you do not have the right to look. I think I like this scene from Pyro. It's just a quick little moment where he's just looking at Bobby's family and the pictures of them together. I think that I really like that scene because it shows that Pyro is just looking for a place to belong. And it shows how impressionable he is with just a quick little moment. He just show off he's braggadocious, but he's looking for a place to belong. And that's just a nice little quick moment. And then, okay, so they can make out, but just for a short period of time. I wonder if it's because if he's a mutant, why it doesn't happen as once. You can kiss, but not make out.
It's okay.
Yeah, just help yourself, Logan. You know, Logan, shouldn't you have smelt that cat? Okay, I always thought this. He's licking his claws. He puts them away. You hear it. Ow! I'm like, I wonder if the cat's tongue was on the claw, and he pulls it back and it cut his tongue open. That's just dark, but that's what it sounds like to me.
Honey, aren't you supposed to be at school?
I don't know if there was any product placement. Maybe the beer is real. I don't know, but
This is Professor Logan.
I'm okay with product placement as long as it's just in a place where it naturally would be. Like, have you ever seen the movie The Day the Earth Stood Still? There's a scene where just like the world is almost going to end and nobody knows what's going on. And then, yeah, Pyro was in X3. He was put in X3. He was kind of, after that, he was like resorted to more just like over the top villain. Like, he's like, I want to kill everything for you, Magneto. I'm going to kill everything. I'd even kill the professor if you'd let me. And he's like, okay, Pyro, I mean, you're still... But then again, that's kind of consistent with this character, too, is like, he chooses his side, he goes all the way with it. Yeah, the Iceman versus Pyro scene should have been a lot stronger.
Yeah.
This scene might rival the Nightcrawler scene for best scene in the movie.
Sit your ass down.
This guy's been a douchebag to Magneto. We haven't, Magneto's been our enemy, but we've liked him. And then this guy just, too much iron in your blood. Boom! And just yanks it out of him. I think the initial scene where like the blood turns into the that was it doesn't look as good, but everything else about the scene is just amazing. He just rips out all the iron that Mystique pumped into him, and they don't have to explain it. There's no scene where she monologues like, and he just knows what happens. They just know it happens. They're just such a good duo, and just with three metal balls, Magneto is like a force of nature to be reckoned with. And then he just flats one out into a saucer disc for Static Shock. And I love this, just the balls revolting around, just like the tick, tick, tick in the first one. He's just like, I am a bad artist, you guys are screwed. Right through them. And that's it. That's all we see. But it's just like Mosquito's escape is so great. He's such. It's like it shows there's like never underestimate me. You might have beaten me. You might have thought I was down and out. You just made a terrible mistake.
Did you cut that out?
You have to understand. We thought Bobby was going through school for the gifted.
Bobby is gifted.
We know that. We just didn't realize
We
it was.
still love you, Bobby. It's just...
You know what? This scene, now that Iceman is gay in comics, is really kind of funny. It's like, because it already was kind of like a coming out scene, and now it's almost advertently that. Oh, that line's like, what are you a professor of? Art. The art of violence. You want that tea ice-capped? And his brother must have been the biggest racist douchebag of all. Because his brother is a dick.
Mommy?
I mean, they...
Actually, we discovered
Oh,
the males
I love
are the
this
ones that
line.
carry the mutant gene and pass it on, so it's his fault.
Pyro just being a douchebag, but a lovable douchebag. Where his brother, right now,
I need the police. If people in the house, they won't let us leave.
they won't let us leave. You are a douchebag, Bobby's brother. A douchebag. I hope you're a mutant too and you don't know it.
Nobody's responding.
The Sentinels kill you.
Why don't you take a break? I'll keep trying.
Yeah, he's not my brother anymore, but you know, for a guy who had nearly attacked the president, they seem to trust him very quickly. I guess though Jean can read his mind, that he doesn't have any malice in him. But yeah, never mind. I thought of a plot hole, but no, I corrected myself.
The angelic symbols.
The symbols I don't like. I'm just going to say this. I mean, it's a unique look to him, and it's cool and all. But this line. One for every sin. Bull crap. That is like 100 at the most. You are a human being. You are more like you. 100 sins. Bull crap. Look, Nightcrawler's a good guy. But even Mr. Rogers had more than 100 sins in his lifetime, all right?
You know, outside of the circus, most people were afraid of me. But I didn't hate them. I pitied them.
That's the thing. They do this right about Nightcrawler.
Because most people will never know anything beyond what they see with their own two
If
eyes.
anyone has any reason to be hateful about anyone, it's him, because he's been hunted down. But
Someone so beautiful should not be so angry.
but he's not. He has every right to be hateful and hate-filled and everything, but he's not. He's hopeful.
So can faith.
So can Faith.
Storm, I brought an active comm device.
And it was always good to have Nightcrawler because, like, even though he's Catholic and I'm a Christian, it was always good to have somebody who had faith as part of his character. You know, that is not something, especially someone who looked like a demon. You know, that was always something that I really liked about Nightcrawler.
Have you tried
Not being a mutant,
not being a mutant?
racist,
Soldiers came.
mutantist.
Soldiers escaped. I'm not sure about the rest.
We haven't been able to reach the Professor or Scott either.
Where are you, Logan?
Boston with Bobby Drake's family.
Okay, we're on our way.
Storm. Make it fast.
Pretty sure the mother, at least, is a racist.
We have to go now.
Why? Logan, what's wrong?
Bobby, your brother is a douchebag.
Drop the knives and put your hands in the air.
Is this guy Australian or something?
Ronnie.
I said drop the knives.
Oh no, I guess that's just a Boston accent, maybe.
Open it all. Open the door.
I mean,
This is just a misunderstanding.
Put the knives down.
I can't.
I can't. Look.
Oh wow, he wasn't even black.
On the ground now.
Sorry, I'm being bad
Okay, I
today.
said on the ground.
Pyro
We don't want to hurt you, kid.
has such a good character arc in this movie. Like, he's fed up with running and being hunted down, and now he's here. His ego right here. It's like one of the dangerous ones. I'm the worst one. You know, here you go. Here's some fire for you. And this is like an interesting thing to have, like, one of the bad mutants start as one of Xavier's students. And the fire effects are actually really pretty good. I mean, the ones where he's hitting the officer, they look a little fake. But I mean, like, he's firebending right there. And then he's starting to enjoy a little bit, like, hey, I am the power. I shouldn't be afraid right there. You know, it's like the way they set up Pyro, it's very easy to see where he's coming from and why he decides to join Magneto's side. Hey, Rogue actually did something. Yay! See, here's the thing. I wanted Rogue to do more, but they just have her do small stuff like this. She puts out the fire, and then she drives the plane. And that's all she gets to do. I don't know why they didn't shoot him as soon as he lit up. I mean, they shot Logan for just retracting his knives, though. The look he gives Rogue, like, girl, what'd you do that for? I had it under control. And this guy, oh, he's fine. He didn't get hit with a flaming fireball or anything. No, he's fine. I mean, he's at least should be internally bleeding. Well, your new favorite son. Yeah, that is the way. Everyone just couldn't talk.
Who the hell is this?
Großwagen. But in the Munich circus, I was known as the Incredible Nightcrawler.
I don't know, he keeps on trying to be like, the Incredible Nightcrawler, and nobody wants to listen to him and stuff. And I'm just like, aw, Kurt. Poor Kurt. There is the extended scene with X2 where you find out like Charles Xavier has a fantasy that he and Scott escape and get back to the X Mansion, and that's when he meets the little girl that is really Jason. But they cut it down, and I think it's better for it because they cut it down because it was too long and dragged on too long. But I think that was kind of an interesting idea of just making him feel like he escaped in his own mind.
It's all right.
Here's another eye thing. Remember I say there's always an eye thing with the X-Men characters. This character has one or two different colored eyes, just like Jason.
We'll have to find them, won't we? We use Cerebro. Come on.
This is so twisted to use your own son like a weapon like this. Hey, Storm's big scene.
We're actually coming up on the mission now. I've got 2 signals approaching. Thanks.
Hey, look, finally, someone in a. If they got anything that spots our jets, they deserve to catch us. Well, they caught you. They caught you. They picked you up. I guess they weren't low enough to get out of radar.
Somebody's angry.
I wonder why.
Here's the thing. Why isn't everyone already buckled in? Like Rogue flies out of this plane. But why isn't everyone already buckled in? Because, I mean, flipping, you're in a jet. You're backing up. Yeah, to shoot on you.
They got fire. Hang on.
Yeah, like everyone buckle in now, not when the jets first arrived, not when you first took off.
Please don't do that again.
I agree.
No, do whatever it takes to avoid the missiles and the jets. Yeah, I do like this. Storm's like, I am the weapon, mother effer. I gotta tell you something. If I was flying and all of a sudden a couple of F5 tornadoes come from out of the sky, I'm like, nope, I'm out. I'm going back. I'm done for the day. I'm out of fuel. Uh-oh, I accidentally jettisoned all my fuel. I have to go. See, that doesn't make sense. So how did the jet form up and down and form in the middle. That doesn't make any sense. This person is a great pilot. They are great at their jobs. Here's the thing. How did Magneto find them? I get that. Oh, let's see. We got something else. Yeah, pretty much, Super Mario. If you want to link your footage with mine, you can do that. Just let me know, and I'll pause it for a quick sec, and everyone can link up. But anyway, yeah, I'm just streaming my side, but I'm not reacting to the other thing because that's basically it. Anyway, hey, Gene gets to do something. And here we go, Red Phoenix Eyes. Stops one missile. And I wasn't going to stop the other one. I left the stove on. The Rogue flies out, and Nightcrawler is a flippin' hero. He doesn't even know this girl. Although in the comics, they have a really good close friendship as like brother and sister. Now, who's flying it? Is Storm flying or is Jean? Yep, I definitely love you. I'm the only. I love it. His look actually looks like, dang it, I'm the only one that's gonna survive this flipping thing. I think that there is kind of a romance between Mystique and Magneto. Like, I don't think they're a brother-sister thing. I wouldn't be surprised if it was like a sexual thing. But I think it's just because like she respects him and his vision so much that she would do anything for him. And I don't think that doesn't have. I don't think that limit. Like, I think she would if she wanted to, but I'm not sure if. I think it is just like, as far as the movie goes, they only show that it's respect. Well, then again, the First Class shows that it could be more, but.
Thank you.
Petition.
Can you hear what they're saying?
I could take a closer look. His name is Colonel William Stryker. He invaded your mansion.
I do think this is so cool.
He wanted Cerebro.
That we get the bad guys from the first movie and the good guys from the first movie teaming up to take on this new bad guy to save the day.
Which I think is the only reason my old friend is still alive.
Oh my
And what are you all so afraid of? While Cerebro is working, Charles's mind is connected to every living person on the planet. If he were forced to concentrate hard enough on a particular group, let's say mutants, for example, he could kill us all.
Here's the thing. We know that Magneto's able to save the day later because he has his helmet on. But why should he have his helmet on the whole time?
Because I told him. I helped Charles build it. Mr. Stryker has powerful methods of persuasion, even against a mutant as strong as Charles.
So who's this Stryker anyway?
I think it's implied that Mystique and Magneto had a sexual relationship. Because, like, in the third one, when she says Eric, it's like she's heartbroken. Not just because she's not part of the group, it's because she's rejected.
William Stryker,
Fully.
the only other man I know who can manipulate adamantium. Metal on your bones. It carries his signature. The professor trusted you were smart enough to discover this on your own. He gives you more credit than I do.
Why do you need us?
Mystique has discovered plans of a base.
Yeah,
Stryker's
Mystique
been operating out of the
being
We know
bad
that's
arse
what
that
he's
she
doing
is.
to Cerebro, but
Like, Mystique is really the hero of this movie in a little way. She's the one who discovered the second base and everything.
Professor already tried.
Breaks out
Once
Magneto.
again, you think it's all about you.
You want to look up?
Hello.
Awkward.
I didn't mean to snoop.
Yes, you did. You really did mean to scoop Nightcrawler. There is a prequel comic. Apparently, where like
Stryker said alkaline.
Stryker is interviewing
That's what the professor sent me.
Nightcrawler, and he's trying to figure out what else his mutant power can do. And he's asking him, "Is there anything else your mutant power can do?" And he says something like, "When it's cold, I wiggle my left toe a little bit," or something like that. He's like, "No, really, it's true." I don't know. I don't know why. Hey, look, conversation number 4?
Yeah.
It's their 4th conversation they've had in this film. The other one was just about him babysitting.
It was like 4 or 5 hours before I can get out of the house.
It's not what I meant.
Just worried. That's Scott.
What about you? Some display of power up there.
She stopped one missile. One missile. Let's be clear. She stopped one.
I love it.
Yeah, this scene makes no sense.
Girls flirt with the dangerous guy, Logan. You don't take him home. They married a good guy.
They married a good guy.
I can be the good guy.
The good guy sticks around.
And then he kisses her, and she should be pulling away right away. But she's not. She's kissing back, and then she stops. WTF. Don't make me do this. Girl, just say no. Anyway, I never liked this stupid love triangle stuff. Still the worst.
Excuse me.
I love this scene.
They say you can imitate anybody. Even their voice. Even their voice. Then why not stay in disguise all the time? You know? Look like everyone else.
Because we shouldn't have to.
Now, Mystique is Nightcrawler's mother. We know this. The show actually the movies never really confirmed this to be true. But we know it, especially since we even see his father in in X-Men First Class. Here's the thing. Although maybe that's a Dark Phoenix thing. Maybe that's when we find that out. I love that scene with Mystique. She's like, because we shouldn't have to. It gives her some much needed character development. Just like she believes in this cause of Magneto's. Like, we shouldn't have to hide. I shouldn't have to hide myself. There's that other scene was like, because of people like you, I was afraid to go to school as a child in the first one. And that was just, it was a good line. Shouldn't you have smelled her, Logan? Your nose is so inconsistent.
No, if I got this car like you, we don't want an apology. You know what I want.
And she wants what she wants, and she goes for it. Give her Mystique that. How much would it suck to be like, hey, I just want an actress to be half nude for one scene where she pretends to be someone else. He's like, oh no, I don't want to screw Stryker. That's definitely not what I'm going for here. I mean, what you would have done if they made it all the way through sex and he didn't notice, that would have been rape. Let's be clear. I'm not being like, oh, go girl, you raped that man. No, that would have been bad. But I don't think she planned on going all the way with it.
We love what you've done with your hair.
I love Magneto here. We love what you've done with your hair. It's just like, this is a nice little moment. Like, he kidnapped her. He hurt her and nearly killed her. And that little line, we love what you've done with your hair, is like, he does not give an F.
They say you're the bad guy.
Is that what they say?
Is that what they said?
It's a dorky looking helmet. What's it for?
Don't give me all the zealot is gonna protect me
from the real bad guys. Magneto is so good. Ian McKellen.
What's your name?
John,
I love this line.
What's your real name?
What's your real name? It's like both Xavier and Magneto have the thing where they give mutants give themselves a new name. But Magneto views it as like their real identity. This is what the world put on us when we were humans. This is the name that we take as mutants. I guess they both view it that way, but I think for him it's like a new identity that we are no longer part of the human race. This is our new name for our race. You are a god among insects. Let nobody else tell you different. It's a great line. With Ian McKellen as Magneto, you would get why other people would follow him.
The machine has been completed to all specifications.
good.
Yeah, maybe it's allergy season. Maybe that's why Logan can't.
Let me ask, sir, why are we keeping the children here?
On the side, Sergeant Mike, when I build the machine, I want to make sure that it's working.
How would you wait? Was he supposed to kill those children first, then, and then work on everyone else? That doesn't make any sense. He just wants to see that it happens. Well, Deathstroke's a mutant. She'd die.
See these density changes in the terrain? And tire tracks.
That's the entrance.
And this shows.
If you think about it, this is like the Thanos snap before the Thanos snap. He's trying to just erase all of humans from existence.
Can you teleport inside?
No. I have to be able to see where I'm going. Otherwise, I could wind up inside a wall.
I'll go. I have a hunch you'll want me alive.
Wolverine, whoever goes into the dam needs to be able to operate the spillway mechanism. What do you intend to do?
Scratch
Scratch it with your claws.
I'll take my chances.
But I will.
I love that. You know, I am terrible with not seeing things coming. Like, everyone looks at Mystique, then we see Wolverine walking down. And when I first watched this, I'm like, okay, so they are going with Wolverine. I'm just like, duh, flippin' idiot. If it pans to Mystique, and then you see Wolverine walking, it's Mystique as Wolverine, idiot.
I'm sliding. Wait.
Striker!
Striker! Striker.
Look who's come home.
I do love, like, in the X-Men comics, where, like, Scott needs to do his rebel mutant group, that they base it out of this facility where, like, Logan's, was experimented on in. Anyways, sorry, this is just a thing from the comic books that I loved. And he takes one look at him and he knows something's not right because of this cheesy smile that he does.
One thing I know better than anyone is my own work. Seal the room, shoot it.
Seal the room! Stand
You know what's funny? Lady Deathstrike was right there. What is she doing? She's backing. Oh, she's protecting Stryker. I never noticed that. And I love this scene.
Could be anybody.
Just like, you see him walking, then it's just like, oh, and then this actor plays a good job playing Mystique, like, bye-bye.
You were right to spill the electricity. Everything's controlled from inside that room. That's why the doors are so thick.
Oh, really? Get some charges. Pull the doors open.
And take out these photos.
I'm in.
She's good.
She's good.
You have no idea.
See, it's lines like that make it seem like, okay, they had a sexual relationship there. I mean, like, you have no idea how good she is.
Fire in the hole.
It's too bad they didn't have lightsabers. It's too bad we didn't get to see the other X-Men just tear apart through this facility. Because we'd see Storm's lightning, and that's it. Like, that's kind of lame.
More mutants abandoned the base. Come on.
We've lost comms. There's some sort of political interference.
Sergeant Lamb. Sir.
Gather the rest of your men and meet me outside Cerebro.
You carry on. When I come back, I want this door open all the way.
Here we go, back to the professor. It's interesting to see the professor, like, taken hostage this whole film and is used to try to kill all humans and all mutants, both things he wants to keep safe. And the dark, twisted version of Cerebro. Oh. I guess we haven't seen it yet, but it's pretty cool. It's weird because she actually almost looks a little worried, but shouldn't she have on cameras that the X-Men are coming? I guess they turned off the cameras, never mind. And I was just like, oh, okay, we good. I mean, that does not look like it'd be something that would knock them out, but I guess you could have just shut their
Large
brains
portion
down.
of energy from the dam has been diverted to this chamber. Cerebro.
Can you shut it down from here?
No.
No,
Count this through time.
not without us. Oh my god. Children.
Kurt, will you come with me?
Where are you? We're being held in a containment cell level down.
I love how, like, flippin' Wolverine just leaves his team behind, and that means he leaves Jean Grey with Mystique and Magneto. Like,
Will you be on it without us?
so much for leaving your heart with, giving her your heart. You left your heart in the hands of the two people that are likely to stab it. But why leave your comm device? I mean, I guess so they can't reach you, but you could just put it in your pocket. It's so interesting to know that this is supposed to be his son, and he's... Oh yeah, here we go. Dark, twisted Cerebro. It's pretty cool looking.
Jeez. It's time.
Time to find our friends.
Time to find out.
And the actor that got to play Jason is so good at looking really creepy the whole time he's just sitting there and just staring. His movements are so small and so subtle. Just like, just,
All the mutants?
Everywhere.
it's so good.
That's right.
Every one of them?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
It's time to bring it to an end. Make me proud.
Make me proud. It's such a weird line. Just like you were the worst thing part of my existence, but the one good thing I'm getting out of you is that I am destroying all of you, all the mutants through you. So I am saving the human race because of you. So make me proud. The only thing you could do to make me proud is kill every mutant in the world, including yourself.
Just don't move.
Kill anyone who approaches, even if it's me.
I think Xavier's role it's different. It's diminished because he's not able to walk around and interact with the cast and everything. But it's a very important role because there's a lot of stuff and build up to a lot of things. I like this. Jean has a confused look in her face. I'm sensing Scott's mind, but it's not his mind. And then just blam.
No! I'll take care of it!
This is one that was quarrel we cannot get involved, said Legend.
This is one, meaning you have been involved in some? How sucky is it that this is the most powerful we've seen, except for maybe the time where he blasted the roof off of the building in the first one. This is the most powerful we see Scott's optic blast, and it's at an ally.
Emily! Storm! No! Okay, we're coming.
Hello, I am the Satan taking you to hell.
Scott!
Yeah, Lady Deathstrike. You know Lady Deathstrike when she popped out her claws when Logan saw it the first? I'm not entirely sure what you mean, but yeah, Lady Deathstrike was an interesting character because you're like, holy crap, there's more than one. Look at this! These are great optic blast effects, and yet he's being taken he's the bad guy here. I actually didn't even realize that it's because of his optic. Not that I never realized, but I'm just thinking again. It's because of his optic blast that causes the dam to rupture. So it's he must feel even more responsible for Jean's death but then again, he was mind controlled. It's not really his fault. My favorite movie as a kid of the X-Men franchise was the first one, just because my favorite X-Men was Cyclops. I think X2 is definitely a better made film. He, for someone who is mind controlled, he's walking very slowly. And he's like, oh, I'm good. Shouldn't you be running faster? The lady you love might be hurt. I kissed Logan.
I'm so sorry. I can see you, but I couldn't stop myself. I tried. I'm sorry. I love you.
Zach, just go to watch my review of it for the answers. I'm only going to be answering questions about X-Men. This isn't a Q&A. Well, all this must mean something. Peace.
Have you found the mutants yet? Have you found all of them?
I'm trying. There are so many of them.
Then concentrate. Concentrate.
Hey, we finally get some scenes. Do you think they could have done this with the relationship with Wolverine and Black Widow? I mean, Wolverine was involved with Black Widow training? I don't know. That seems to be far-fetched. I mean, I don't think they're going to go that far. But I think that's probably one of those things where Wolverine was written to be part of everything back in the day because he was immortal and traveling through, just living through time. Hey, look, this atmosphere. Look how dirty everything looks here. That's what I liked about this was it looked like Wolverine's operation was such a dark, dismal, dirty affair that was used with rusty equipment and whatnot. And Then you watch the movie X-Men Origins Wolverine, and everything's so clean and pristine, and it looks so. See, adamantium's supposed to be like a rare, very strong metal. Why do they have a bunch of it? I know they had to do it for Lady Deathstrike, but why is it still boiling? Like, they didn't do this recently. Is it? Yeah. They did take their time with Logan and how it putting things together. And look how dark this feels. Like, it feels like he just went on a berserker spree and killed so many people in that room and then ran out there with no knowledge of who he was or what happened.
The tricky thing about adamantium is that if you ever manage to process its raw liquid form, you gotta keep it that way.
Keep it hot.
Keep it hot. Because once the metal cools,
It's indestructible.
But you already know that. I used to think you were one of a kind, Wolverine. I was wrong.
He doesn't even run. He just walks away. Here's the thing. I was like, what the flippin' crap when I first saw this scene. Like, I was like Logan, except I didn't swear. And this fight is a great fight scene. Because it is brutal. Like, that scene where he just slams into the wall. Oh, so good. Lady Deathstrike has been a character that you've been watching this whole movie, waiting her to do something, and then she does, and she is great. And she's just like she gets stabbed, takes on a full stab from him. Then slicing back, stabs her. Stabs her again. And she heals up. His face goes, oh, crap. Her eyes also are weird. They're black and blue. And then she just goes like this. Like, she goes like, Wah! Oh, smacks his head on the ground. And it's like, this is a very even match. This is another movie where Wolverine's biggest fight is him trying to slice and dice the crap out of a woman. I never really noticed that. Like, two movies, Wolverine's biggest, I guess the first one, it was supposed to be like Sabretooth, but I think that his fight with Mystique was better, and I think this one, it's the same thing. Like, this is a great fight. It's brutal. It's violent. It's super cool. You feel like he's actually outmatched. Like, she has better fighting styles, actually.
That's it. Oh, where do you think you're going? Sick of this kid's table shit. I'm going in there.
John, they told us to stay here.
You always do what you're told.
You always do as you're told?
Yeah, I mean, no, I'm not, Dr. J. I'm not asking why do they have adamantium. I'm saying, why is it still there boiling? I guess they would need to keep it boiling, otherwise, as soon as it cools, they can't cool it down. But they have to cool it down eventually. I don't know. What a way to die, being pumped full of adamantium. She doesn't really fight it, though. Look at it. I never noticed it. You notice her eyes cleared up? Her eyes went from that black and white to this brown, regular color. Yeah, I think she, at that moment, broke free of the mind control. Oh, that, like, this hard sound of her head hitting the ground. Oh, it's so great. It makes sense why she's a better fighter if you think of it. She stayed being a weapon for Stryker. Yeah, like I would say, yeah, she's definitely is a better striker. Oh, this is like the gun scene in the first one fully realized. You have flipping grenades, you idiots! Like, this is him if he shot the guns in that scene, and he just pulls all the pins, and they all die. It's like, you flipping idiots. And then he finally puts on the helmet. I mean, I would have had that on the days I knew what their plan was and never took it off. I would have slept in that helmet.
Concentrate. Concentrate. Now find them all. Find all the mutants. Concentrate.
Oh man, this is it's intense when you feel like every mutant's brains are being scrambled. Oh, and Mystique, the scene with Mystique is actually the worst one because her like uncontrollably shifting into all these people. That scene, that it's like a quick 2 seconds. It is so good. Stryker's gonna get away with what he's done. Everyone seems being hurt. Brains are being scrambled. It's so twisty because you're using, not only is he using his son against it, it's also you're using an ally to do the worst thing. Kill every one of his people. It's so it's really cool plot that way.
Strange.
Pyro's turn was quick. It was, but it's also natural with the way his character was portrayed. You know, he was cocky douchebag, full of himself. He had a little bit of a mean streak in him. He wanted a place to fit in, and Magneto gave him that place. He made him feel like he was superior to everyone else. Just like, I got the helmet. And made him feel like he had a place where he would belong. That scene itself is just really good.
How does it look from there, Charles?
Still fighting.
Still fighting the good fight. From here, it doesn't look like they're playing by your rules.
Maybe it's time to play theirs.
Play by theirs.
And see, this is why I say Magneto is still the villain in this movie. He never stops playing for himself and his own side. This scene where he reverses Cerebro to find humans and reverses everything Stryker did to attack humans, and then you're like, holy crap, the stakes are just as high, if not higher, than they were before. It's now we're talking about a nearly extinction-wide level event. And Mystique doesn't even have to ask what his plan is. They talked about this. This was a plan from the start.
There's been a change of plan.
But I do love, like, once... Yes, Charles Xavier is a good man, yes. I do love, like, even once they've done this plan, look at this. Like, his face drops for a moment. He stops smiling.
Goodbye, Charles.
Says, goodbye, Charles. Like, goodbye, my friend. Like, once again, he's willing to sacrifice whatever he must in order to do what he thinks is right. But,
There's been a change of plans.
but he's not happy about it. He's not cackling evil. He's like, I'm sorry that I have to do this to you, that I'm going to make you do this, but I'm playing by their rules. I'm not going to let the humans get away with what they tried to do today. How does it feel, bub? Only 2 bubs in this movie. First one was only 1. I'm doing a bub count.
You make it sound as if I stole someone from him. As I recall, it was you who volunteered for the procedure.
Volunteer, not recruited. Remember X-Men Origins Wolverine?
It was just a failed experiment. If you really knew about your past, what kind of person you were, the work we did together, could have not changed. You're an animal then, you're an animal now.
I just gave you claws. So man, X-Men Origins Wolverine was not good, but the game was. That's what I hear. I've never got around to playing the game X-Men Origins Wolverine, but I hear that it's actually really good, but the movie is terrible. One of these days I want to get around to it. Actually, it might be on Game Pass. I might check it out one time.
It's going to flood water into the spill. It's trying to relieve the pressure. It's too late. In a few minutes, we'll all be underwater. Come with me and I'll tell you everything you want to know. You can help your friends. They're as good as dead, Wolverine. You're a survivor. What was happening?
I thought it was just
It was just an animal. If we die, you die.
Yeah, this is interesting because like he is literally timing up, leaving him, and then later he leaves him for dead. Period. Well, that is not really a secure tying thing. You can wiggle out of that pretty easily.
This is
Cerebral.
Sword.
Hey, are you okay?
How about Scott?
What's happening?
Hi, Scott.
Professor Stone.
Glad you're safe.
Mutants trapped in some kind of illusion. Oh my god. Magneto's reverse cerebral. It's not targeting mutants anymore. Who is it targeting? Everyone else.
Yeah, I guess he gets away free. So my thing about how it's not really that secure of an exit thing. You tried to save your race and ended up almost dooming it. Douchebag! Did anyone actually die from this? I remember thinking that these lights, some of them were going out and that some people were actually dying. That some people actually did die. But I think that nobody actually did. Magneto had been hunted by people trying to kill him. All he wanted was a utopia for him and his people. Unfortunately, they had to choose the path of genocide. Yeah, I believe that's true. But in a way, he becomes the monster he was forged by the Nazis.
My name is
Did the new accept us?
Here's another thing.
I told you. If I can't see that, I'm going.
Here's another thing. Why is Storm the one that goes to the other side? Shouldn't it be Jean? You need a psychic for this, right? But then again, Storm hasn't had really much of a moment. And here we are in Twisted Cerebro with the Twisted Girl. This is like 3 layers of fantasy. There's Xavier's fantasy, the real world, and the fantasy that Jason is putting them into.
Professor, can you hear me? You've got to stop Cerebro now.
Who are you talking to?
I'm going to push that girl off the platform.
She's just a little girl.
No, she's not.
He's like, smart.
I've got my eyes on you.
Mystique, aren't you cold? It's winter. It's Canadian winter. Why aren't you freezing to death? At least make your skin into some clothes for like some boots.
It's about to get very cold.
I do like this moment for Storm. Like, she's like, she can't attack him on the mental plane, so all she can do is break his concentration by dropping the temperature of the room in order for him to not be able to concentrate on what he's doing. There's Pyro. Want to join our club, kid? Here's what I didn't like. Why can we see her pupils now? The first one had it good. It was straight white, no pupils. And now we can see her pupils faded beneath the whiteness. I don't like that. And now the realities are merging together. Like here, don't we see some stuff fading out? It looks like people should be dying, right? It's like the realities are burning together. It's cold in here. It's cold in the real world. It's cold in the fantasy world. And he's starting to lose his grip on reality. He says, Jason, he realizes what is happening. But here's the thing. Are they standing, like, is there enough room where they're standing is? Like, if they ran into Jason, couldn't they just push him off? I will say this about the X-Men 3 video game. One of the things in it that is actually pretty good is Kurt being haunted by the fact that that he left Jason behind. Like, they grab Xavier and get him out of there, but they don't grab Jason. And I think that is something that would haunt Kurt. That he would feel like even though Jason wasn't a good guy, it's just like the fact that we left him behind. I don't think Kurt is comfortable with leaving anybody behind. You get the classic thing where you stab something and then it works. I don't know how spillways and dams work, but this whole thing always confuses. So wait, it's flooding the thing. What is it flooding? Where's the water coming from? I don't know. It's been a while since I've seen it, and I wasn't able to watch it partial because I was in the middle of a StarCraft. Oh, anyway, it's like, yeah, you're gonna die with me.
You don't want to go that way. Trust me.
You know, Xavier, you seem to be standing up pretty well. It doesn't look like you're leaning on them all that much. Well, you know, Logan, would have been great if you had a microphone or some communication device that you could have just let us know that. No, you went to live in time. Hey, it's Lizard Mouth Kid.
The helicopter was right here. I tied him up with an easily escapable chain. The helicopter's right here.
No, Charles has his legs. He just doesn't. He's just paralyzed from the waist down. Here's the thing. This should have been a terrible plan that never worked. A teenager who's never flown a jet before moves it into perfect parking range. That is a terrible idea. And it's not like she touched anybody recently enough that knew how to do that. Like, it'd be one thing if she was with them and then she touched Scott or something. Coming up on the Jean Grey screen is scene, yes. This scene. You know, Logan, maybe if you didn't waste your time with this scene, maybe you guys could have gotten away scot-free. Well, not scot-free. You need to bring Scott, too. But this kid is never like, sir, why are we going away from the ship?
It's okay, look. It's okay. Let go.
Hey, I did something. Sir, the plane's the other way. And this is when he really does leave him to die.
Who has the answers, Wolverine? Those people? That creature in your arms?
Stryker planned to play his only card. Yeah, well, that we'll get to when we get to X3, Dr. J.
I'll take my chances with him.
It'd be funny if this kid could read minds, and so we did have all the answers.
Finish what I've started, Wolverine!
One day.
Scott, we've got to get to Washington. I fear this is going to be on now, Galilei.
Well, yeah, you nearly killed all of humanity. No, not your fault. You didn't know, and you couldn't do. But anyways. Yeah, this scene. Spoilers for anyone who's going to watch my best of. The ranking movies. This scene is going to be the worst scene because I do best scene, worst scene. This is going to be the worst scene because this scene makes absolutely no effing sense. So we see the instruments on the X-Jet or the Blackbird are starting to malfunction. They're not working. And Jean's sensing something, and she's like, oh, I can sense the water coming. I don't know how. She's a psychic, not a geologist or something like that. Iron Giant moment. You stay. I go. Yeah, here's the thing. Okay, we'll get into it. Lucas, we'll get into it. He's like, oh my gosh, I have to make this sacrificial moment. This scene will be inspired later, many years later, in Man of Steel, where another person has to sacrifice themselves for stupid reasons. The music's swelling. The music is starting to swell. Jean?
Wait, where's Jean?
She's out. He says she's outside. He's like, oh my god, she's outside. Oh my gosh, I can't believe she's doing this. Look, Jean is a psychic. She can move things with her mind, and she's turning on all the switchboards. I don't know why she didn't do that inside. Lower the ramp. Just lift the ship with your mind. I can't. I mean, oh my gosh, this is so unnecessary. Why did she have to do all this from the outside? And okay, even if she did, this is the most. Everyone's like, wow, that's quite a bit of power there. There's never been as much power. This is the most power she's shown. But there's no reason why after this, where she lifts them up, out, above the water, and then Nightcrawler grabs her and takes her inside. Why not that? Or do all this from the inside of the jet. It's, oh my gosh. And this is a weird moment where he's trying to have a moment with Jean, but he's talking to Xavier, and it's like they're almost about to kiss or something. It's so bad. Look, if they wanted to do this, she should have been separated from the group, and she was at the dam or something, like far away from them, where she couldn't. Maybe Nightcrawler got knocked out or something like that. Like, there's so many ways around this. Why did she have to do this from outside of the plane? Why couldn't Nightcrawler grab them as soon as they were above it? Why did she let go and not say, okay, Kurt, now? This is as forced as Captain America having to put down the plane in the ice and not just saying, well, why don't we land it, then dismantle the bombs? No! Oh, so bad. Maybe she had a death wish. Not sure, though, if that's why, in case maybe she feared the Phoenix Force. We did see her eyes glow, but it made no sense. It doesn't make sense. This scene is the only really bad scene in this movie. I mean, there's other stuff in the love triangle that's not good, but this scene doesn't make any sense. And then these two guys are just crying, and all I'm like is, yay, love triangle over! Right? Right?
The Lord is my shield. I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow.
Ugh. Anyways. Scott can never not be in a love triangle. If it's not him, Jean, and Logan, it's him, Jean, and Emma Frost. I mean, gosh dang it. Like, I know they wanted to do the Phoenix thing, and this was their best way leading into it, but it's just bad.
Today I've been given an opportunity to shed light on recent occurrences from the attack at Engine's office. Good morning to the...
It doesn't ruin X2 for me. It doesn't. I never cared for Jean anyways, so when I originally saw it, I didn't think it was that big of a deal. It's not like the main crux of the movie. It's just something that happens in the movie. It is the worst part of the movie for sure. But the whole movie still holds up really well. The main stuff that the movie focuses on with Logan, Stryker, Magneto are all great. The actor playing Stryker is really good.
In this time of adversity,
The action scenes are better. I liked all the characters and the moments that they were going through.
And take a unique role in the shape of human events.
Emma Frost was done wrong, but we'll get to that in First Class when we get to that. Now, here's the thing. Why did, I guess, Storm knocked it out with her powers? But why didn't, is the camera still rolling? Here's what I don't get. And this scene, I'm just going to say this. They should have not brought Kurt. Kurt was in here days ago, almost killed this man. You know, hello, and he's freaking out like, duh.
Who are you people? My name is Charles Xavier. Please sit down.
I understand.
Rogue, here, I've handed a piece of paper. I'm helping. Maybe there was some in that file that proves that Nightcrawler was mind controlled. I do like to see Rogue and Iceman in the uniform.
Just say I know a little girl who can walk through walls.
Yeah! Kitty Pryde 2.0. Can't wait to see Kitty Pryde 3.0.
I've never seen this information.
I know.
And you also know I don't respond well to threats.
Mr. President, this is not a threat. This is an opportunity. There are forces in this world, both mutant and human alike, who believe that a war is coming. You see from those fires that some have already tried to start one. And there have been casualties. Losses on both sides.
I mean, they could have gone Rogue and Gambit, but Gambit was done wrong. Yeah. Yeah, they do try to negotiate with the president, but this feels very threatening. The lightning, the assassin in the room. Here's a question. Give flippin' Kurt a X-Men uniform. That he would look cool in that, right? Or at least his circus uniform. Like, he's worn that, and I always love that look. But this feels like they're giving him an ultimatum. Yeah, there is a Star Trek X-Men comic crossover. I don't think it was the Next Generation. Well, there might have been one of those too. But there's one with the original Enterprise crew, because there's a moment where they say Dr. McCoy and both Hank and McCoy from Star Trek both say yes. So that's pretty cool. But anyways.
By the way, what I was saying, mutants cool. Definitely not hateful of mutants at all. I don't want to die.
You know, even when Jean was a student, she was always hesitant about her part. Always looking to others.
I hate this shirt on Logan. He looks like a porn star or something in this.
She was left behind.
Could we have done a more segment?
Yes, she wouldn't let you.
In the past, she may have let us.
It had to be another way.
Yes, there was.
Why did she leave the plane?
For stupid reasons.
Because she made a choice.
See, I feel like this is where Bryan Singer is like, whatever.
Yes, come on in.
Hey, look, Colossus.
I'm in this movie too.
Yeah. Yeah, she made a stupid choice. That's right, Lucas.
She didn't make a choice. It was you.
Yeah, of course it was. You weren't even on the table. You weren't even an option. Flippin' kiss stupid mother. Hey, look, it's Jubilee. Jubilee 2.0, I'm guessing. Well, maybe it's not Jubilee. That's just because she is. Yeah, that probably wasn't Jubilee. Never mind. I don't get what's he looking out for? Oh, maybe Jean is alive. What's he feeling here? I don't get this. Oh, Jean is gonna be alive, and she's gonna kill me.
Yes, I think it will be. Now, tell me, have any of you read a book by an English novelist named T.H. White?
The Once and Future King. That's what Magneto was reading earlier. This is interesting that they're both inspired by similar things, but come out on other goals. Hey, Jean's the mutation thing.
It is how we have evolved from a single-celled organism into the dominant species on the planet.
It's like the last planet is starting to skip its badness.
Thousands of years.
I think it means seep its badness in. Yeah, it's like in the last part, it starts to get a little bit stupid, and then it just Last Stand takes it off from there. And then you're like, what is that in the water? Well, be sure to be disappointed for it next time. I never liked Jean Grey in the first place, so yeah, I don't know. This movie... But the movie X2, in terms of... I'm not going to get into, like, ranking them, but, you know, as terms of the sequel, it definitely... raised the bar, you know, more characters. There was a lot more development. It wasn't just the Wolverine show with Rogue along. There was great action scenes with like Nightcrawler, the fight with Lady Deathstrike. There was a lot of good developments and different questions that you asked with it. And so, yeah, X2 is definitely a really good film. I really definitely enjoy it. And yeah, I'll be looking at it'll be interesting where to rank this movie. Yeah, in the comics, Jean Grey is more like my favorite version of Jean Grey is the one when they brought the young X-Men to the modern timeline. That version of Jean Grey has been the most consistently interesting for me, where I find her fun and, you know, like, and, you know, she goes through some stuff and maybe crosses a few lines as she goes through her journey. But anyway, Dr. J, share your bad joke. You say you have a bad joke, might be too dumb to share. You got to share it now. You can't. We're gonna end the stream on it. Come on, what's your bad joke? I'm not gonna end this unless you type this. You said I just thought of a bad joke, might be too dumb to share. Say it. You say it. I'll keep talking about X2 until it's ready. Anyway, so yeah, like they. Oh, by the way, thank you, Lucas, for saying. Just say it. Anyway, I think that X2 is definitely like. There's some things where it's just like they still got characters that they don't really know what to do with. Rogue, I think after they made her mopey dopey in the first movie, they didn't know where to take her character beyond that, and that's why in X3, once we finally get to it, they just take her powers away because. Yeah, everyone's waiting for you, Dr. J. You have to say it now. You have to put it down. But you know, it's like with Rogue, it's just like there's still a little bit mopey dopey. I do think I like that between X2 and X3, there's a little bit more time. I would have liked that a little bit here, you know, where you get to see the characters come forward. Okay, shouldn't her name be Jean White and not Jean Grey since she died and came back? She was Jean Grey that comes back as Jean White. Oh, that's perfect. That's how we're ending this stream on. Okay, thank you for watching, everybody. I'm just going to go have some supper. Then I'm going to start X-Men The Last Stand. So if you want to join me, then good. But if you don't, then that's okay. I understand, especially since this is the bad one. Bye.